Hello, everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of X Talking Ish with your boy X.
And this.
You already know what to do. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast. If you are on our Facebook page, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button so you can make sure you like us on Facebook. And as well, if you are on YouTube, please make sure you go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell for shows like this one in the future.
Ding.
Thank you for that, Ish. And as well, if you are on Twitter, go ahead and check us out at X Talking Ish on Twitter. And if you want to check us out on my personal page, I've already retweeted this show on my personal page at X underscore Williams AT1. All righty then, Ish. You know why the people are here to see us. You know why they came to talk some football with us to, of course, recap the NFL Conference Championship games on the AFC side and on the NFC side. And one thing I will say is I was not expecting for us to have even more great games, but the AFC and the NFC Conference Championship game said, hold up, hold my beer. I'm going to show y'all one more good time this weekend before we get into the big Shamboni, the Super Bowl, and another week and a half ish. And one thing I will say about the NFL is I definitely appreciate y'all for making my Sundays even more livelier after church. You know, because we out here, we praise the Lord. And then we out here, we praise the Lord of football. That's what we do out here in Texas. You know, that's what we do, baby. But on a serious note, though, I will say this before we do get into the games, because I just want to make sure we're on the same page. You know, because I got on because the Bengals, they took care of the Titans at home. So I just want to make sure that my boy Ish is okay. I want to make I'm happy and I'm proud of him for being a man and being able to show his face again for the people, for people that's tuning in, because I was hurt for you, Ish. I thought the Chiefs had it, man. I really thought they did, and for them to go out the way that they did, I mean, I started this off the pregame show on Sunday with you starting off this game, so I need you to start it off and tell us how you feel about what you saw on Sunday.
I mean, it was a great season. Not many teams can say that they've hosted the conference championship game 4 years consecutively. The Kansas City Chiefs were able to do that. They had another wonderful season. They just fell short. They fell a half short. If we're being honest, I mean, there's not much to say about it. When you allow a team like the Cincinnati Bengals to hang in the game and stay around and do the things that they were able to do, eventually it's going to come back to bite you. And I know a lot of people have been hung up on the play at the end of the first half, where they went for the touchdown, they didn't get it, and people were like, "Oh, you should have kicked the field goal. That's what changed the game." To me, that's not what changed the game, because there's no way you can tell me that going into halftime after they missed that touchdown that Andy Reid or anyone in the Kansas City Chiefs organization was sitting there thinking like, we're not gonna, we're gonna have the type of half that we're gonna have in the second half. I don't think anybody was thinking that. I mean, regardless of not scoring points at the end of the first half, they got the ball back and they still had an opportunity to widen the lead, and they didn't do that, right? So for people who are hung up on that, that's not what changed the game. Honestly, what changed the game to me, I do think that after that first drive in the second half, and maybe even after that second drive in the second half, we saw something that we have yet to see. We saw something that I think a lot of people have taken for granted, the way that Patrick Mahomes has played, the way that he has been able to handle adversity throughout his career. But I'm just going to call it as it is. Patrick Mahomes lost the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was not, I don't think it was anything other than Patrick Mahomes lost the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. He looked like, to me, if I'm just going to be honest here, he looked like, to me, I don't know if people remember, but back in Ronda Rousey's heyday in the UFC, right? When she was the champ, undisputed, she would get in the fight, and at any point in the fight, you knew Ronda Rousey was gonna find a way to make somebody tap out. You just knew it was coming. And then she got in that fight against Holly Holm, who nobody expected to win. Everybody was looking at it like, oh, well, here we go again. And when she got hit in the mouth a couple of times, you know that look in the eye where it's something, you just saw it and you were kind of like, hold on. This don't seem to be the same Ronda Rousey. Like, what's going on? And then she got hit again, and you were like, oh, okay, Ronda, what's going on? Then she got hit with the kick from nowhere, and so writes the story of Ronda Rousey.
Oops aside your head.
To me, Patrick Mahomes looked like in that second half somebody who had been hit in the mouth and just did not know how to respond. Some of the throws he made, some of the decisions he made. I'm looking at him, I'm like, is this Patrick Mahomes? Like, who is this playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs? Because even, let's just talk about overtime. Because as bad as they played in the second half of the game,
still had an opportunity to win the game. First possession of the game. First possession of overtime.
It was the same thing.
Same scenario they had a week ago against the Bills.
Scenario, right? So you're thinking to yourself, okay,
they're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to win the game because that's what Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs do.
That's what he does. And he comes out and he throws maybe 2 or 3 of the worst balls I have ever seen Patrick Mahomes throw. The first one, wow. I mean, I watched the first one. I was like, oh yeah, they about to lose this game. Then the second one, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, oh no, Patrick, what are you doing, sir? Then the third one, and the third one for me, I understand you throw it up to Tyreek Hill, and he normally comes down with that. I'm gonna say that was good defense. I'm not gonna necessarily say that was a bad throw, but what I will say about it.
Wasn't the right time and place to do it at that time because you don't have to get that type of ball in that type of play. It's overtime.
Let the defense come out and do it.
And here's the thing: this is a playoff overtime game to where you're not going to tie. So take what the defense gives you and drive down the field to win this game, or to put some points on the board, kick a field goal, and put the pressure back on Cincinnati to at least have to kick a field goal. Yep. So for me, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Let's go to the comment section. I want to read these comments from Fractured Walnut, and I also want to backtrack to what you talked about with that end of the first half, because I do have to disagree on what you're saying. But Fractured Walnut says, this Rams run reminds me of the run Manning had with the Broncos, not the injuries, but how the defense is stepping up in key moments. Of course, we'll get to the NFC very, very shortly. He also says, Chiefs were playing with their food, in my opinion, should have kept their foot on the Bengals' neck, but they'll be back at home in the AFC Championship game next year. I 75% agree on what you're saying. I 75% agree.
Their foot off the gas.
Well,
people have said that, but I think the Bengals, they came out in the second half. One, they had done it before. They had been down before in Kansas City, and they knew they could come back from it.
But so here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The reason why I have to agree on the first part of what Fractured Walnut is saying is because you're up by 18 at home. Come on, Ish.
But they came back.
All I'm saying, but you just gave the analogy. You just gave the analogy of Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, which is a great analogy when it comes to maybe like a Fractured Walnut saying, maybe they're playing with their food to where they thought this was kiddie play, no pun intended, and we got this. We're at home. They started off fast. That's something Patrick Mahomes talked about. That's what they wanted to do coming into this game. They haven't done that in previous playoff games, and they were able to establish that earlier in the game. And I thought that was very, very encouraging for the Chiefs to not only not so much them starting off fast, but we know they're going to come in the second half. Like, we're not worried about them second half. But for them to play well in the first half, and then we know they're going to come in the second half, it should have been a 40-point game for them, in my opinion. But what it also reminded me of is the game that happened in Week 17 when they played against each other. And I know the referee, I know it was a referee situation where a lot of Chiefs fans felt like the referees got in the way of that game. But the reason why I'm bringing this game up of Week 17 is because you only scored 3 points in the second half, when you popped off in the first half for 35 points in the first half.
I said that. I said that.
So
I said that they
we're
could
all on
do
the
it
same
again.
page. Yeah, we're all on the same page when it comes to, yes, the Chiefs did what they were supposed to do. The Bengals did what they were supposed to do as well too. But like Fracture Walnut is saying, you have all of the momentum. You're at home. You have all the swagger. Travis Kelce dancing. Tyreek Hill about to run in the tunnel again. Patrick Mahomes had to go get him before he get another flag and whatnot. And everything was going right. And then all of a sudden, like you said, Ish, I'm sorry. Like I said, but you might not agree, but yes, it did change everything. When the Chiefs did not get any points in that first half, not even getting a field goal, it reminded me of the Tennessee Titans and Cincinnati Bengal game where Mike Vrabel, a lot of people wanted to get on me about what Mike Vrabel coaching decision when it comes to going for it on two. Going for two instead of just kicking the field goal and getting that extra point. And it might have changed the game. It might not have, right, Ish? But it is a factor upon the game because Ish, you can disagree all you want to. I need to hear my boy Lee on this. I need to hear the people that's tuning in right now. Y'all need to let me know, did that first half of that game, first half of that game at that last drive before the Chiefs went into overtime, please let me know with the Chiefs not scoring any points, did that matter at the outcome of this game? If you say no, then hey, I'll let it go because it's not my team anyway. But in reality, Ish, the reason why it does matter is because we've seen Tom Brady, and we'll get to him shortly as well too, time and time again, go in first half, score a quick touchdown, get the ball back again in the second half, score another touchdown, and try to keep up the game out of reach. And he's done that multiple times and that's what Patrick Mahomes, the next baby GOAT, should have done in the first place. But again, we can protect Patty Mahomes all we want to, but I do respect what you said. You do put the blame on Patty. I respect that. And Patrick Mahomes also said himself that he put the blame on himself. He should have won that game, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, I've got on here and I said all I need to say about Tannehill. I'm not about to sit here and sugarcoat about Patty Mahomes either. Patty Mahomes gonna get his blame because, like you said too, Patrick Mahomes got too cute. He got too cute. All that little run around the pocket crap. Who do you think, Lamar Jackson? Who do you think he is?
He's never done that.
He's never been a type of quarterback. He's never been a type of quarterback. So why are you doing that?
Bro, he reverted to Texas Tech days.
I 100% agree. 1,000% agree.
Texas Tech Patrick Mahomes.
Why are you trying to, at the end of the game, you're down by 3 points. You're not up or tied, and you out here trying to waste clock to try to set up for a field goal. You fumbled the ball and almost lost the game. And almost lost the game right then and there to where you wouldn't even gone to overtime in the first place. So, Ish, you are correct. That one play did not define the game. But that one play was a series of plays on why y'all are not playing in the Super Bowl. Again, I'm not trying to get on y'all. And I got you. Again, that's why we can agree to disagree. That's why we're on this show. We can talk about it. But at the end of the day, it is something that is going to be looked at, and Patrick Mahomes is going to look at it. And I respect Patty Mahomes because we all know in this game of football, as you saw with Tom Brady about to retire, he didn't win every damn Super Bowl. He took some L's, and he got to close to the mountaintop, either the divisional game, the AFC Conference Championship game, or even the Super Bowl, and have lost. And guess what? It builds even bigger chips on people's shoulders for them to get back to the mountaintop. So this is great for Patrick Mahomes to learn from, and all the other AFC and NFC quarterbacks that's looking right now and saying, damn, Joe Burrow's second year, ain't that about a bitch, right? Damn, Matthew Stafford, 13 years in the league, didn't win a playoff game. Look at him now in the Super Bowl. Damn, ain't that about a bitch? Both, I think, on both sides of the conference, both of these storylines are great for their own different reasons. And we're going to have a great Super Bowl. We'll get into it very soon, but let me get to the comment section right quick. When it comes to my boy Lee, I appreciate you for tuning in. As always, he says McKinnon was getting 7.1 yards a pop in the first half. We're up second half, up 18, and totally leave that. Makes zero sense. Pat had more time in the pocket this game than he ever had in his career. Play calling and Mahomes sold the game. I agree. He also says it wasn't coaching on that play. Mahomes said he got greedy and the play call was across the middle or throw it away. He made a terrible play. All on Pat. It didn't decide the game, but it was a major factor. And, of course, he's talking about the play in overtime. No.
He's talking about in the end of the half.
Okay, my apology. Yeah, he's talking about, okay, at the end of the half. Okay, well, again, y'all as Chiefs fans, if that's how y'all feel, then, again, that's on y'all.
Bruh,
I'm just
it's
an
not as a
individual.
Chiefs fan. It's a
Look,
football,
it just
football from a football standpoint. X, it doesn't make that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. Like
okay. I got a question.
hindsight
Okay,
2020, right?
hold on.
Hindsight
Okay,
2020. So
seriously.
you're gonna say
I got a
now
question.
that they lost, it made
Okay,
a big deal,
but
right?
no, I got a question because I said the same thing about Tennessee last week when it comes to Mike Vrabel going forward on 2.
That is different.
Why is it not different?
Let me explain.
Please
to you why
explain.
it's different.
Please. I need everybody to explain to
Let
me
me
because
explain
this
to
is
you
why
it's
is it different when it's the exact same thing?
Let me explain to you why it's
Please.
different, dude. As a football coach, anybody in football, X, you're going into the half. You're already up by 18. It doesn't matter if you score the 3. Would it have been nice to have at least scored 3? Yes, it would have been nice to have at least scored 3 points before the halftime. But you're getting the ball after half. So from a coaching standpoint, from a player standpoint, from anybody that's on the team, anybody in the stadium, yeah, you're like, wait, why didn't we just kick for 3? But that's not what changes the second half. That doesn't have anything to do with what transpires in the second half. Because guess what? You get the ball to start the second half. So your team up 18 and you get the ball to start the second half. Let's say they didn't have the ball to end the first half. Would you have said anything about like points or anything like that when they're up by 18 and the same thing happens in the second half? No, you wouldn't. So just because they closed out the first half and they didn't get those points does not mean that that was the major factor. Like they got the ball at the beginning of the second half. They had all the opportunities. Not only did they get the ball at the beginning of the second half, they punt the ball, they get the ball back, and then they end up punting the ball again. So you had 2 chances to extend the 18-point lead, and you failed on both chances. So it's not that one play. They just did not execute. The second half, the play calling got too cute. Like Lee pointed out, they went away from running the ball for what reason, no one knows. Again, it's like Andy Reid always, at some point, Andy Reid wants to prove this point that he's this genius play caller, right? And sometimes it gets in his way, and it got in the way in the second half. Number 2, when you let the Bengals hang around after they know they have come from behind before in Kansas City, it was always there was always an opportunity for the Bengals to come back, and they played a hell of a game on defense in the second half. Let me just point this out though, because a lot of people overshadow what the Bengals did on defense because they say, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes this, Patrick Mahomes that, yada yada, so on and so forth." The first half, you saw a lot of too high, and Patrick Mahomes did what he did all second half of the season. He ate what they gave him, right? He tore apart too high. You didn't see it in the second half. You did not see too high in the second half. Go back and watch. They stopped playing too high. They said, nope, not anymore. And they made the adjustments.
I ain't gotta watch. Fracture Water telling us right
not,
now. He said
Patrick
second half
Mahomes
Bengals made adjustments and the Chiefs didn't. Plain and simple.
They didn't. Patrick Mahomes did not adjust. Once they went away from too high, it was as if Patrick Mahomes was like, "Oh,
I don't know how to play football anymore.
No more too high.
I don't know how to read defense.
We didn't watch film on anything else. So he completely started playing.
He went back to Texas Tech. I don't know how to read defense. I just throw the ball. Somebody down there,
he was just throwing. Then he just
slang that motherfucker.
Oh, not to mention, let me not get on Mr. Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill. Like when you got these type of distractions going on the sideline, really, this man went on the sideline and started saying, "I need the ball."
Mecole Hardman.
Yes.
Oh, see, I ain't know about that. Again, that's y'all team over there. Hey, that's what y'all do. But hey, sometimes you gotta feed the boys over there. You throwing the ball 65 times around the yard, boys getting hungry. They want the ball.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, the Bengals played a hell of a game. They did exactly what they needed to do. It's a good story. Like you said, this story right here with the Bengals, it should give
every NFL franchise hope.
Oh, it should give all these low NFL franchises hope. All these guys like the Jaguars. If you're watching this, you definitely got to look
Detroit
at the Bengals
Lions,
and think to yourself,
Detroit Lions.
Man, we just got Trevor Lawrence. We could pull it. The right coach can turn this around for us. You never know. Y'all could be going to the Super Bowl next year. Hey,
I agree. It's possible.
Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals were able to do it. Who knows if y'all will do it? The Chicago Bears, they got their
Bears,
young
yep.
quarterback.
They
Are you
might
going to be
waiting,
able to
gonna
do
get the
it?
right coach,
Who
pair
knows?
him with the
Yeah.
right quarterback. I mean, it's
mean,
possible. And that's honestly how I've always felt about the NFL. Even when it was only Peyton and Tom Brady, it seemed like winning every damn Super Bowl. I've always felt like as long as if you can make a run at the right time, why not? We've seen Eli Manning make a run in the Super Bowl. We've seen Aaron Rodgers win his Super Bowl as a wild card. We've seen teams make a run at the right time. Yes, even like
not
Fracture
the,
Water
no,
said.
not
Yes,
y'all the exception to the rule. Nope, not y'all. The organization is so dysfunctional. No, not y'all. Y'all can't make that run. It's not gonna happen.
He was quick to bring every coach in, bring every player in. We gonna make a Super Bowl. We going to the Super Bowl. Fuck it.
No, that's not.
All right,
not y'all. Y'all the exception to the rule.
Let me get to the comments right quick because Lee brought up something I definitely was wrong with.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate
11.
him bringing it up. Yes, he said. Lee
bad.
said we were about 11. They scored on that touchdown before the half cut it to 11.
my
If we'd have kicked the field goal, we'd have about 14 and a half. So yes, and Lee also says yes. You're about 2 possessions. You get the ball back at half. This play didn't decide the game, but it was a major factor and led into a snowball effect. Which my rebuttal is, in everything that you're saying. Look, is you are correct. Yes, you don't get the points, but yes, you get the ball back in second half. That's cool, but you don't get any points. Okay, punting back and you punt it back and you get the ball back again. Oh, I got all that, but my point is this. Last time I checked, the Kansas City Chiefs are a championship team. The Kansas City Chiefs are the ones that are supposed to take advantage of the things that teams like the Bengals aren't used to being able to be a part of just yet because they're still fresh in the NFL. I've talked about this since Wild Card Weekend with the Bengals, with them being young and not dumb, but just being young. Exactly, being young and not giving a damn about who's in front of them. When I saw Joe Mixon tote that thing the first half, I said to myself, damn, the Bengals, I think they might have a chance. When I said on this pregame show, if you can keep Joe Burrow upright in the first half and keep him to maybe only 1 sack, and they kept him to 0 sacks, I said, even with an 11-point lead going into half, the Bengals still have a chance. I didn't think they were going to pull it off. I honestly didn't think they were going to pull it off. But I always said to myself, damn, the Bengals have a chance. And when you have a guy like Joe Burrow, and if you look on the sideline, Ish, I know you're watching, but when you look on the sideline, you see how the whole team believes in Joe Burrow and they believe in one another. This shit matters. And this is what certain NFL franchises are looking for in a quarterback that can galvanize the whole team, that can really bring hope amongst everybody, where you can have defensive players that are no-namers. No disrespect to those. Let's be real. No disrespect to Cincinnati defense, but you have guys like Eli Apple who half the NFL fan bases hate. You feel me? You have linebackers that nobody know of. You have underrated defensive linemen that, again, nobody know of. So for Cincinnati to do what they're doing, it is a tip of the hat to them on both sides, not offense, defense, special teams, coaching, everybody. You really have to give credit to everybody that is a part of this, because I'll be honest with you, Ish, I really think the Bengals go win the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'm going to claim it just yet, but why not? They are playing with house money. Nobody expects them. All the pressure is on the Rams. They're playing at home. The Bengals can come in there and spoil the party. They've already canceled school in Cincinnati. They say, fuck it. If we win or lose, nobody go to school tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day. Y'all gonna make some babies. Y'all gonna make some babies in Cincinnati on Monday out of Super Bowl, win or lose. Somebody gonna make some babies, damn it. And best believe, I'm telling you right now, this is some our generation Joe Namath stuff. He might go into SoFi, win a Super Bowl, and walk out that bitch swinging his finger and smoking a cigar on his way out. And it ain't gonna be filled with tobacco. I'm telling you that right now. We in Cali, you know what it's gonna be filled with.
Anyway,
already
we have been saying all season though about the Bengals. I think early on we were really high on the Bengals, and we said that. And the one thing that kept getting in the way was they just were young. They weren't finding a way to close those games.
Yeah.
And we saw something different in the second half here, because I feel like against the Titans, it was a close game, but I don't really feel like they had to overcome what they had to overcome in this game. And what we saw in the second half, especially from Joe Burrow, let me just say the adjustment that Joe Burrow made at halftime, where he comes out and to me, the first half he played all right. But the second half, to me, he played more like how Josh Allen played the Chiefs the week before.
Okay.
You saw him start to move around in the pocket, run, break out.
Break them sacks. Yeah.
Those third down runs were the big factor that really made it different.
Can I cut you off real quick?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you the play that happened that I knew that the Cincinnati Bengals were going to win the game?
Go ahead.
When he got out of that sack from Chris Jones, and Chris Jones tried to get on that second attempt, and he went ahead and
did the little high step,
and had Chris Jones eating grass.
Oh yeah,
I told myself, okay, they're going to win this game because
the writing was on the wall in the second half. Though you could see,
You're right. You're right. You're right. But again, we were waiting for the Chiefs to finally wake up and finish them, but they just never. It never happened. And I think this is great. It's great for the league. I think it's great. It's great for the AFC. It's great for moving forward. Even though again we lost Brady. Again, we'll get into very shortly. We're gaining 3 or 4 other really good quarterbacks that can make this league that much even more fun. Let's talk about it.
The AFC is
yes,
stacked.
it is.
When you talk about young
yes,
quarterbacks,
it is.
You got Herbert, you got Allen,
it is.
Burrow,
and I'm looking at the Titans like, damn, we in the middle, and that's not good.
Some people would say Lamar Jackson. I mean,
we still got to wait and see where Deshaun Watson goes.
We got to see where Deshaun Watson goes. Like the AFC is stacked when you talk about these young star quarterbacks. So really, when you're thinking about it, this honestly, as a football fan, not taking it as a Kansas City fan, as a football fan,
it's fun.
I was excited to see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals win this game. One, because it brings parity to the league. Because it would have been boring as a football fan to see the Chiefs go again. Because it's just more of the same, right? As a Kansas City fan, I wanted the Chiefs to win. I was ready. I was over there when Kelsey scored in the first half. I was over there like, oh yeah,
okay,
let's go home back, baby.
I see.
But then, as I saw the writing on the wall in the second half, I thought to myself, and I was like, yo, I would love to see, especially a franchise like Cincinnati. My background with Cincinnati and my favorite player, Chad, being in Cincinnati. I started thinking to myself, I was like, yo, it would be really cool to see these young guys like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. These guys go in and just kind of, slap everybody in the face real quick and just say, hey, we're young, but we're going to come out here and we're going to shock the world. And like you said, they very well could shock the world in the Super Bowl. They very well could do that. They have the right makeup. They have the right attitude, the right mentality. Now, it's going to be a tough task, but I think if they are able to do exactly what they did against the Chiefs and just kind of hang around there, you never know.
You got to neutralize the pass rush. This ain't the Titans. Hey, this ain't the Titans. I'm just being honest. And look, I'm being honest with everybody. The Rams ain't got to sack Joe Burrow 9 times. If they sack Joe Burrow 3 or 4 times, it might be a wrap. And I'm just saying,
I don't even think they have to sack him. I just think that
build that pressure.
The pressure that Aaron Donald and that defensive front can put on you,
all right, let's hold off.
I would say the Rams are a lot stronger on the back end.
Let's hold off on the Super Bowl talk. Let's hold off on the Super Bowl talk just yet. We're waiting for that episode. We don't want to get into that just yet, but let's go ahead and finish off this topic and let's get into the 49ers Rams. But I will say before we leave this Chiefs Bengals game, on a serious note, Bengals organization, can y'all please take care of my boy Ickey Woods out there? Why y'all got him out here looking like he's somebody daddy? First thing first, why y'all got him out there with the chain on with the plastic over the Bengals little logo? Come on, man. We out here looking like somebody daddy. Take care of my boy Ickey Woods, man. Take care of my boy. All right. Jesus. All right, let's go ahead and move on to that second game of our Sunday slate. And I did say on here that the second game was going to be better, but depends on how you look at it. It depends.
Some
on
people would say it was.
I think the Bengals. The Bengals Chiefs. If you say that game was better than this one, I wouldn't be mad at you. But again, depending on how you look at this game, if you're a football fan, this game was probably more fun to watch as well too. But there was a lot of chess match going on in this game, and the first half it is what it is. But the more of the second half, mainly of course the question marks of why did the 49ers go away from that bread and butter and not continue to feed Debo. And a lot of people are kind of looking at Kyle Shanahan and saying, are you seeing ghost again of the 28-3 letdown against Tom Brady when you were coaching for the Atlanta Falcons? You were right now, Shanahan, if you win that game, we're not talking about this, but because you lost, now we're bringing up your past because your past unfortunately outweighs your success at the moment. And until he goes back to Super Bowl and wins one, we'll talk about this. So, Ish, with this game, the question I want to ask you, did the Rams win it? Did the 49ers lose this game?
I'm looking into this camera. I heard your question, and don't worry, I was ready to address it. I knew something like that was going to come up because just last week I came out and I defended my man. I said, why y'all so ready for this man to go? Why y'all talking all this mess about my guy? All he does is win games. He's going to deliver them to the promised land. And then he came out and he lost the game for this damn team. He lost the game. The Rams didn't win this game. The Rams did not win this game. In a sense, they won the game. But really, Jimmy Garoppolo won the game for the Rams. Jimmy Garoppolo won the game for the Rams because this defense, I said it in the pregame. I said all you need is to make it a nasty, grimy game. And let me say again, hats off to DeMeco Ryans and that staff on the defensive side for the San Francisco 49ers.
Who still hasn't had a head coaching interview with Houston Texans, but that's a story for another day.
But I mean, they did everything that they needed to do to keep this team in the game. And Jimmy Garoppolo, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was a piss poor performance from Jimmy Garoppolo. The last drive, the last interception, pretty much summed it up right there.
I will back him and say that little pass actually wasn't that bad. You got to blame the running back on that. We went through his hands.
No, it was an interception. At the end of the day, we're gonna see interception on thing. That's what we saw.
And that's perfectly fine. That stat actually needs to be changed. That needs to be changed when it comes to interceptions. Sometimes you go to receivers if it falls off their hands, but that's another story for another day. What I will say is this, and I want to get to this comment from Fractured Walnut because it is interesting. I like where you're coming from. I just honestly doubt it. Fractured Walnut says, I say the Niners will somehow trade for Rodgers and will be in the same spot the Rams are this year. Of course, we hear all the time Aaron Rodgers grew up as a Niners fan in California. He loves the Niners. He kind of feels the type of way that the Niners did not pick him, and the Packers picked him during the draft. I honestly just don't see Rodgers going to the 49ers. But I will say this. If you did hear about the reports recently about 9 hours ago,
they're looking for
Jimmy G
partners.
is on the trading block.
Yeah,
Jimmy G is on the trading block at the moment.
Right now.
So it will be very interesting to see who will match up or try to match up with the 49ers to try to get Jimmy G for Davis Mills.
They're trying to be
or Watson.
They're trying to be New England.
But I will say this. If the 49ers, I'll say this. That will be the shot. That will be. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. If the 49ers can pull off a trade for Deshaun Watson,
to bring Deshaun Watson next year,
to bring Deshaun Watson
right
to
now.
49ers,
That happened.
If the 49ers will go all in the same way the Rams, or will go all in and say we'll do whatever you need to do to bring Watson in, the 49ers to Super Bowl. 49ers to Super Bowl. It's
that's a no-brainer for me.
I mean, if I'm on the NFC side, I don't want to go and play the 49ers. That's how I'm looking at it now. Because now you have somebody for the present, and you have somebody to teach the guy behind you for the future. The right guy, not Jimmy G. if they want to keep Trey Lance.
I don't even want Trey Lance at that point.
Well, get him,
bro, get him out of there.
I got you. No, you're correct, but I'm just saying they want to keep him for the future. But I agree with you. If you're the Texans and I'm sorry, if you're the 49ers and say, hey, Texans, I'll give you Jimmy G and Trey Lance, 2 first-round draft picks, a third-round draft pick, whatever it is, we'll give it to y'all because Deshaun Watson will change everything for them. Of course, pending all the legal stuff, we have to, of course, wait and see what happens. But I think that's a win-win for everybody if you decide to go ahead and make that move. I don't think the Texans do it because they have Davis Mills. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think the Texans are kind of invested in Davis Mills.
We're going to have to, as we get closer to the draft, we're going to have to address the teams falling in love with these rookie quarterbacks that haven't proven enough. And end up putting themselves in a bad spot.
Haven't proven shit.
Yeah,
say it again.
I mean, you're going to put yourself...
Why do I see Texan fans out here celebrating Davis Mills, the best QBR as a rookie, when most of his bullshit-ass stats come from garbage time? Stop. Y'all obviously don't watch football. Y'all obviously don't watch football because y'all want to watch stupid-ass analytical stats and people that are half-brain nitwits out here and want to talk about Houston sports like they're the damn greatest thing since sliced bread and try to make it seem like Davis Mills is the next quarterback to lead the Texans to glory. Like, stop that. Stop. We're not doing that here on this show. We're not doing that. So, first things first, we're going to get back to for 49ers Rams because we're going to get off of that team. But I want to read this comment from Fracture Water. He says, Ryan's won an interview with the Texans. He is currently has a lawsuit against him for the turf field. Well, thank you for letting me know that because I definitely did not know that. And I respect D'Amico for that because no disrespect to my Texan fan base friends, but on some real stuff, when you have a lot of your legends telling other people that the Texan legends telling other people that, hey, don't go there and don't mess with these guys. No disrespect to y'all, but you don't expect certain free agents to be coming there anytime soon. Or a decent coach to come there anytime soon. It has to be washed from the top to the bottom for everything to get fixed. No, it ain't Mills. Mills ain't got to go. It's the McNairs. The McNairs are the ones that got to go. But that ain't happening anytime soon. It's like telling Jerry Jones to give up power with the Cowboys. It ain't happening, right? So, anyways, let's get back to this game. For me, I call me crazy, but I really feel like the Rams won this game. I know it's easy to say, yes, the 49ers lost this because of Jimmy G. And let's be real, we've been waiting for it. Everybody for the last 2 weeks now have been waiting to say, there we go, Jimmy G's fault. There we go, right? But the 49ers have bailed out Jimmy G. They have bailed them out to where they're just like, damn it. I was waiting for it to finally say, hey, Jimmy G's fault.
I hate that y'all finally say, like, yeah, there you go, Jimmy G.
And I honestly feel like we cannot put all of the blame because
put it all on him.
If you're going to say that one play in Cincinnati didn't define the whole game, I'm not going to let this one player define this whole game for this team. That's what I'm not going to do.
No, he defined the whole game for this team. I mean, it was just a bad drive after bad drive, missed throw after missed throw. I mean, the man was 16 for 30. So, like, come on, man. 16 for 30.
Over 50%. You know, back in the 70s, that's some good stats right there, 50, baby.
Yeah, one throw. Come on, man. That's terrible. And then, of all things, to have the chance to win this game, or at the very least send it to overtime in that last series, and to have the series that they had, it just highlighted even more so the fact that defense has carried. That defense and Deebo Samuel carried this team all season long. They carried this team. They carried Jimmy Garoppolo the whole time. And unfortunately, they weren't able to carry him to the Super Bowl this time because he was able to somehow mess it up. But hey, it is what it is. The Rams did play their part. They did what they needed to do. And towards the end of the game, they turned it on.
And that's what I was going to say. My bad for cutting you off. Is I've talked about this for the last couple of weeks when it comes to the Rams and their both sides of the ball stepping up. The offense, of course, because of the amount of money you put in there and the people that you got, but also the defensive side of the ball. And the defense have stepped up every single week this whole playoffs from the beginning to where they are, of course, about to be at the end of the Super Bowl. And I think this is a personal year for Aaron Donald. I think this is a year where it slipped away from him a couple years ago, but this time he has a legit opportunity to solidify himself as not just one of them, maybe the greatest defensive tackle, maybe to play in this game. Again, maybe there's a lot of people out there. But what I'm just saying is, again, if you look at the body of work, he's edging his name out there in NFL lore when it comes to maybe being one of the greatest generational defensive tackles ever to play this game.
I would say to that point, the stage is set because there's no better team. If I'm the Rams, right? If I were looking at the two teams on the AFC side, I'm definitely picking Cincinnati as the team that I want to face in the Super Bowl. Not because nobody expected them to beat or anything like that, but because we talked about it earlier in the playoffs about how the 49ers against the Cowboys, we were like, 49ers probably like this is the team you ain't want to play if you were the Cowboys because matchups make it, right? They make the game. If I'm the Rams, that matchup
they about to eat up that offensive line.
Oh man, the Cincinnati's gonna have to do a lot of planning.
And I'm happy you brought this up because I really want to wait. And of course, when we talk about the pregame of the Super Bowl, we'll talk about that in the next upcoming weeks. But look, I know that the Cincinnati Bengals have played well over the last couple of weeks besides the Tennessee game. But this past Sunday, they played a lot better protecting Joe Burrow. I got that. I think they mainly play with a chip on their shoulder.
I don't necessarily think that they were that. I still think that because Kansas City was still able to get people back there, they just never could really bring him down. So that's where I was kind of like, against the Rams, this is going to be kind of interesting.
But that's my point. Going into this game, again, this is not a regular game. This is a Super Bowl where you're going to play two halves. You have a longer halftime. So these things are really going to factor into the game and how you play it. And if they are not able to, if they do not put 2 to 3 men on Aaron Donald and make sure that he is
Miller, though.
But that's my point. You have to find a way to at least stop Aaron Donald, and you might let Von Miller get 1 or 2. You might let someone else get either a sack or a tackle for loss. But guess what? Aaron Donald is the engine of that train on defense. He gets going, it's a wrap for everyone else. It reminds me of LeBron. Everybody else can get theirs. That's cool. But if you let LeBron get his, then everybody else getting theirs, it's a problem. So for Aaron Donald, if he can disrupt the game early in this game, I don't think they might not just win the Super Bowl. He might fuck around and win Super Bowl MVP. That's how confident I feel with Aaron Donald.
That's what I'm saying. The stage is set for him to really etch his name as up there with like a Warren Sapp or something to be like,
because that's the name really. That Warren Sapp feels like I remember them talking to Warren Sapp about Aaron Donald about 3 or 4 years ago, and he looked at everybody like he was like they was crazy. Like, why would you ever compare him to me? No disrespect, Warren Sapp, but it's real now. I mean, Aaron Donald has plenty of credentials right now that can rival anybody else so far. You just need that Super Bowl performance. And not just one. You might need a 2 or 3, but you just need one. And that position, defensive tackle, that's not really we measure players by Super Bowls. It's not what we're measuring on. But when it comes to the level of GOATness, when it comes to what that position is, Aaron Donald has to make a big splash in this game because unfortunately that is an MO for him in the playoffs too, is he kind of does go ghost. But I don't believe that. I think, again, when you watch the film, you just see that offensive coordinators find a way to make sure that they are doubling on his side, using a tight end, using a chip block from the running back, whatever it is to make sure that he doesn't affect the game. And that's what I think that the offensive coordinators for Cincinnati is going to have the next 2 weeks. They're literally, I think, going into work every day trying to figure out what are we going to have to do? How are we going to shift the lines? How are we going to get Joe Burrow rolling out? How are we going to find a way to not? How are we going to find a way to just keep Joe Burrow up and for us to just stay in the game for the fourth quarter to just give us a chance? And if that's what happens, then all bets are off.
To prove why you drafted a kicker.
Hey, that too. And speaking of kickers, hey, Money Mac, he out here trying to trademark his signature nickname. And if that's the case, hey, shout out to you, Money Mac. Go ahead and make that money. But overall, is there anything about this game you want to talk about before we move on with this topic? Because I'll say this. I feel like the 49ers can be back in this position. It just is dependent on the quarterback that they get if they move on from Jimmy G.
Yeah.
If you go out and I'll say this. Let's just say Minnesota and San Francisco make the trade. I think Kirk Cousins can get them over the hump.
Oh, here we go. You
in
this Captain America.
I love me some Kirk Cousins, man. I love me some Kirk.
No,
I love me some Kirk, man.
You know who
just
they need to go get though?
I'm listening.
One hand Danny Dimes.
Here we go.
One hand Danny Dimes. One hand Danny. One hand Danny. Take him to the ship, boy. Take him. But unfortunately for them, New York already said that they 100% behind one hand Danny. So
Yeah. No, you know who they really need to go get? Jameis Winston. Jameis! That's what they really need to go get. That's how you feel?
Bro, I'm done with you in this.
Don't be done with me. What you done with me? What I do?
Jameis Winston talk, man.
What I do?
We're going to end the show early. You keep talking about Jameis Winston.
Oh, my God. I ain't doing anything. All right, let's go ahead and finish it off tonight with, of course, one of the biggest breaking news besides other breaking news that happened today. We'll get into that very shortly as well, too. But we talked about this a little bit on the pre-show on Sunday when Tom Brady was planning on retiring. And, well, today he made everything official with his own Instagram post that pretty much thanked everybody besides the New England Patriots, we'll get into very soon, from his time at Tampa to his time in Michigan, at University of Michigan. Again, he thanked a lot of people besides his 20-year career with New England, which is kind of odd. Maybe he's saving something later.
He thanked them later on.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
He
Thank
thanked
you.
them later on.
I didn't see that.
And the report came out that he's planning on signing like a one-day contract.
Retire as a Patriot.
He talked to Robert Kraft.
Okay, thank you,
So,
thank you for that. I didn't see that. Thank you. I didn't want to. No, we don't do no misinformation around here. We get our facts straight around here. Next talking this. All right, thank you for that, Ish. But on a serious note, though, he's again officially going to retire. It's crazy too because for us watching football, we've watched Brady from the beginning to where he is now, and it's something that we get to tell our kids, our grandkids about. And I think this is an opportunity for everybody to really, hopefully, appreciate what we were able to see. I know nobody's going to really be able to appreciate it right now because people still feel this type of way. Either you like them, you hate them, whatever it is. But what you're really going to do, and when the time that you're really going to appreciate Tom Brady is 20 years from now, when we're watching Super Bowls and we're watching playoff runs, and they say another record that's broken because of Tom Brady that was holding that record, or somebody beat Tom Brady's Super Bowl passing yards because again it was held by Tom Brady. He's going to go down as kind of like Kareem in the NBA when it comes to every time that a record is broken. It's going to be, bro. I'm just saying, it's going to be because of Tom Brady has held that record prior to, and for Tom Brady to also go out, I mean, statistically, quarterback-wise, the best quarterback of the regular season, you led every stat. That's impressive at itself. The year prior, you won the Super Bowl. The year after, individually wise, you lead every statistical passing category, and also while dealing with drama off the field and on the field with AB and injuries as well too for that team. It's hard to go out on top and win a Super Bowl MVP and have that storybook ending. But I didn't think he was going to retire, honestly. But listening to what he was talking about with family and having everybody say like, yeah, this is it because of the way he's talking. Now listening to it again, yeah, I mean, it does sound like he was very committed and very serious about saying, hey, like I'm good. I need to go retire and hang out with my family. But I will say this though. Maybe he takes a season off and say, let me my body recharge a little bit. And I'm tired of hanging out with Giselle all damn day and my kids. And let me get outside for a little bit. Because it happens. We saw Gronk retire and he came back and played with Brady. But we've seen guys retire and come back. We saw with Brett Favre. We thought that was cute 3 or 4 damn times. I'm not saying Brady comes back, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if he takes a year off, rest a little bit, and then maybe come back and run it back with somebody that we don't expect him to just to get it out of him. But I don't think he's done. Physically, I think he can still play another year. I just think because of the grind and missing his kids and missing the family part of it, I just think that he wants to actually get back to doing that again. Ish.
For me, it's definitely the end of an era. I think we're starting to see he's the first domino of he and Ben Roethlisberger this year, the first domino of what will be the end of that a pretty good era for quarterbacks in the league, right? Because pretty soon you're gonna have Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford at some point. It's probably gonna be gone. There's this group of guys that have been there for a really long time and have done this. Russell Wilson eventually, soon. So it's
Russell unfortunately gets lost in the mix, though.
He does. He does get lost in the mix. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be an end. He's the beginning of end of an era. But for me, I mean, you said Kareem, bro. He's Jordan. I think to me, my bad. He's by far, hands down, without a doubt, he's Jordan, bro. He's the GOAT. He's the guy that, let's just be honest, you either love him or you hate him. But a whole bunch of people hate him because he always winning. Like
but you gotta respect that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's just that guy that you just knew he was gonna get there, and when he got there, he was gonna win it. Right, like you just knew it was gonna come. You knew it was happening, and like you said, it was great to see. I think it won't fully be appreciated, maybe for 20 years or so. 10, 15.
No, we don't appreciate things now until later on.
It won't really be fully appreciated, but at the same time, good riddance. Thank you for being gone, Tom. I'm tired of you winning all the time. I'm just done. I'm done with it. Some people would say, "Oh, well, you're gonna miss having Tom there." No, I'm not. I'm not gonna miss watching Tom play because, to be honest, while he was a winner, he won. He was born as hell. Okay, he was born to watch. He was born to see in the Super Bowl. I don't want Tom Brady in the Super Bowl anymore. Okay, I want Tom Brady to go play with his kids and get up out the dang NFL so somebody else can win. Patrick, take over now. Okay, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. See, I like Joe Burrow because you know what? Tom Brady kind of boring, bruh. He kind of got like this quiet arrogance about him or whatever. But at least Joe got
that loud arrogance. He got that little swag, swaggy.
He got that swag on him, right? I can respect that. I wouldn't be mad with a Joey B dynasty.
I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad when they beat ass. I was mad when they beat the Titans, but I ain't gonna lie. I had to respect it. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker too goddamn cold.
Yeah, he too cool, bro. Boy,
goddamn cool outside the pillow. God damn
it. I was mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was mad. I'm still kind of heated about the Kansas City situation, but at the same time,
he's just so damn likable. He's just so damn likable.
You cool, Joey B. I can respect that. If I'm gonna lose to somebody, I'll lose to you.
But let's also remind everybody. Let's also remind everybody. Joey B. did save everybody from having to see Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes again. So we America won.
Can we as the Chiefs organization ban him from the facility, please? Just ban him from the facility.
First of all, that's your boy. Talk to your boy Patty when it comes to his boy.
Well,
That's what you need to do.
okay, if the organization won't do it, then Patrick Mahomes.
That's all I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes the one that needs to cut.
From ban him from the facility.
That's all I'll say. Let's get the comment section right quick. Fracture One says, I did Brady just like I did Kobe. Gave up hating on him 10 years ago and started appreciating the greatness.
That's good for you.
I respect you for being a man.
I respect that. But a lot of people don't say that. I'm too petty. Nope.
I ain't gonna lie, I did the same thing. Also, Chad Bogue says James for MVP. I agree. James for MVP.
Chad.
But I will say that for people that are listening and tuning in, I do a lot of ebooks or audiobooks when I'm out at work and whatnot. It allows me to listen to things, and I listened to this book called "It's Better to Be Feared," and it's a book about the New England Patriots dynasty over those 20 years of being together with Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Robert Kraft. And if you are a fan of football, I advise you to go ahead and check it out, just due to it gives you a lot of insight of everything that went on in the Patriots dynasty from beginning, middle, and end. And it gives you a cool insight on who these guys are outside of football. And I think it's just very interesting because, again, sometimes we see these guys as, not human, right? We see these guys as mythical sports figures, but in reality, I mean, they're just like us. Tom Brady, again, he could play maybe till he's 50, but he wants to enjoy his family. Tom Brady talked about as well, too, just like with Fracture One, talking about Kobe. Brady talked about when it comes to, unfortunately, Kobe's untimely death, you don't know when the last time you're going to see your kids. You don't know the last time you're going to see your family. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because if you listen to this book, Tom Brady, since he was a kid, his dad has preached to him about family, and it is very important to Brady. So I am very interested to see Tom Brady's next steps in life and being the next, or trying to attack the next project in his life the same way he attacked football. Trying to see if the Brady brand, when it comes to what he's trying to do with football, is it going to be like we see with Jordan with basketball? I think that's right there. That right there itself, I think that's the most important and cool thing that Brady could do and leave his mark on football lore forever. I think the Mannings could have been done it, but they haven't done it. But if Brady comes out with this cool little GOAT 12 logo or something like that, and it rivals, it's the only NFL emblem since maybe going back to the Bo Jackson era, I think Brady can change football for the greater good moving forward for individual players, because I think that's another thing too. We talk about Brady and the arrogance and the competitiveness of who he is and how he brings it to the table, but we also got to remember too, he is a player's player. Like, he actually cares about players and he wants the best for players. He's not a golden boy, silver spoon guy that has been molded and groomed by these owners. He actually does care about the players. So, I would salute him even more if he said, I'll run for NFLPA president and I'll help, these players of the next generation get what they need to get. I'll respect him even more for that. So I think his next act in life will be even more important and more greater to not just football society, but society as a whole than him ever playing football.
He didn't care about the players when he was deflating balls and winning.
Oh, here we go. Hey, but that's another story for another day. Again, like you said, you can love him, you can hate him, but Tom Brady, he's going to bring some type of storyline to the table. And hey, we'll talk about that another time. Of course, before we do get up out of here, of course, the other big breaking news before, during this day and before we came on to this show tonight is Brian Flores is dropping a bombshell on the NFL when it comes to filing a civil lawsuit on the NFL when it comes to practicing racist discrimination practices on hiring black coaches in the NFL. I'll be honest with you, besides him having a case, which we all know he does, if he wins, and he definitely probably can, this is going to be very detrimental to the NFL. I'm not saying the NFL is going to crumble. I'm not saying it's going to go away. What I'm saying is, look, we just saw Josh McDaniels get hired from the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, this is the same guy that was supposed to get hired by the Indianapolis Colts about a little less than 10 years ago, and he go ahead and say, "Oh, just kidding, psych. but also his mentorship. I'm sorry, the guy he's been being groomed for the last how many years in New England. Let's all remind everybody. Bill Belichick pulled the okey doke on the New York Jets back in the day as well too. So what I'm saying is that, look, as black people, black people don't want to quote unquote be treated the same way and all this bullshit because we know that ain't gonna happen. But damn, can we at least get an opportunity to fail like certain folks, get 3 or 4 chances to fail before they can say, you know what, maybe that motherfucker is trash. I mean, shit, it's too late. You've been in the league for 35 years. You already made $126 million. Yeah, I'll quit too. I mean, I don't need to coach anymore. But when you have a guy like, and I'm just gonna throw him out there, Bill O'Brien, who has an opportunity to maybe come back and coach back in the NFL as a head coach when, like, you haven't proven anything, but who knows? Maybe we can look back and say maybe it's on the Texans organization. Maybe it's not Bill O'Brien. Maybe it's on Texans as an organization. I don't know. But when you give certain folks more opportunities and chances than people who just want one chance, and again, some of the claims that he's making is in 2019, the owner of the Dolphins said, hey, I want you to lose some games for us so we can secure the number 1 spot so we can get Joe Burrow. It's unfortunate that you bring that up because it kind of messes up your Brian Flores. I'm looking at Brian Flores because, man, it kind of messes up what you're trying to bring to the table because as an owner, you can look at Brian Flores and say, see, this is why I told you to lose these games, right? Because you got Joe Burrow out here taking the team to the damn Super Bowl.
No.
I know. I'm joking about being serious when it comes to, like, he's right. He has a case. But damn, it's like, I ain't know you want to bring that one up. Everything else is great. Just don't bring that one up. But on a serious note, it's going to be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Ish, I just want to hear your thoughts on this and what you think.
Well, yeah. So when you brought it up to me, I started looking into it a little bit. And when I'm reading some of the stuff that's in the lawsuit, I don't think he's going to win this case by any means. I think just filing the case was a big thing for him. I think it's going to bring enough attention to it. There's going to be enough chatter about it that it's going to ruffle some feathers around the league for sure. And it's going to get a debate started, which at the end of the day, maybe that's just what he wanted to do. But for me, some of the stuff that he brings up in there, you talk about Josh McDaniels and everything. He uses Jim Caldwell as a perfect example. He uses what happened to Jim Caldwell in Indianapolis. And then what happened to him in Detroit?
I've stated this multiple times before. Again, how in the hell you fire Jim Caldwell after going to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years to say we want to get better and go hire Matt Patricia, who has 0 head coaching experience, and then you go out and have a shittier record. You deserve everything that you get, Detroit. You deserve everything.
I think the number, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think their record since they got rid of Jim Caldwell is like 16-45 or something like that.
Probably.
So, I mean, that he uses that as an example. He has text messages that from Bill Belichick.
And that's the interesting thing. I saw that. I was like, is this real? It looks real, but it looks a little, I'm just saying, look, I don't know.
I saw people who didn't understand exactly why that was important, right?
Oh, that's very important.
That's
very important.
Let's just put it in plain English for anybody out there that doesn't understand. If the Bills and the Giants had already talked and they already knew and decided that Brian Daboll was going to be the coach of the New York Giants before Brian Flores even interviewed for the job, that says a lot, because what it means is you brought this guy in to satisfy the Rooney Rule, even though you knew you already got your guy. So it was a sham of an interview. It wasn't a real interview. Like, it wasn't a real interview, which for years now, I think a lot of people have been saying that there are a lot of teams that do this, right? They bring these guys in to satisfy the Rooney Rule.
And they say this every year. We've talked about this every year. And it's something that's obvious that they're doing, but again, nobody has put them out on Front Street. But until Brian Flores, again, I don't think this is just a conversation starter-ish. Brian Flores put his coaching career on the line. He's not going to be able to coach. He's not going to be able to coach in the NFL ever again. He's not going to be. But here's the thing, though. You are correct. But what it might be able to come out for Brian Flores is a nice $100 million lawsuit that allows him to be taken care of for the rest of his life because he sacrificed. I don't agree. But okay, we'll see what happens.
There's too much circumstantial evidence in here. Even everything that he's using, to me, and I'm not a lawyer by any means. I didn't pass the bar or anything. But it's too much circumstantial stuff that it's going to be pretty easy for the NFL to weasel their way out of.
Because they got some pretty darn good lawyers.
Yeah, huh? they got some deep pockets. All these owners do, and they're going to pay the best of the best, and they're going to weasel their way out of this lawsuit. He's not going to win it, and people are going to talk about it for a while, and then it's going to go right back to, business as usual. Let's just be honest about it and call a spade a spade.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was what could happen. I think the opposite when it comes to. I think this is something that really we could look back on this and say this was a cultural shift in how we see football moving forward over the next 20 years. You have to ruffle some feathers to get things changed in the world, and this is a part of it. It's unfortunate that Brian Flores has to even take this stance to help the next generation, guys like a Brian Leftwich or a Eric Bieniemy, which I've already stated. I think Eric Bieniemy will be a head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. We'll have to, of course, wait and see on that. Brian Leftwich, I thought he was going to secure the Jacksonville Jaguars job. From what I was hearing, apparently Brian Leftwich didn't care for the general manager, and that kind of null and voided his opportunity to become a head coach for the Jags. So for me, I don't know. It's just interesting to see how this all plays out. Because there's some good candidates out here on the offensive side and defensive side, but it just all depends on, what that ownership wants. Ownership, general manager want, and we'll see what happens moving forward. I think we will, in moving forward, we will have more minority coaches, but just this go around might get the short end of the stick right at the moment. But one thing I know about the NFL, folks gonna get fired. So you ain't got to worry about, not having a vacancy of the coaches. Somebody going to get fired. So, alrighty then. This was another great episode, I believe, Ish. And unfortunately, we don't have real football this weekend. We had the Pro Bowl. So,
I'm not watching that.
I
said it last year. I'm going to say
watching it.
I'm not watching that garbage.
No, I'm not doing it.
I might watch the Skills on Thursday or something, but I'm not watching that.
Fracture Walnut also says Tom Brady, he's going to be a GM in 5 years.
He probably will. I can see it. If he doesn't end up in the booth or something.
I don't see him in the booth. I don't know, man. I see him. I saw Peyton as a general manager, but he doesn't seem like he wants to be a GM. I don't know. I see Tom Brady doing more than just a general manager. That's just my opinion. I think he wants to attack the world type shit like the way Kobe was trying to do it. So I think his mindset on things are a little bit bigger.
I see him taking over the rules committee and deflating balls league wide.
Here we go. Anywho, you gotta stop with the disrespect. But on a serious note, like I said, we won't be here on Sunday. Besides the Pro Bowl, the only reason why we will join the show and make a very special appearance if something crazy happens, of course we'll be here to talk about it.
You know what?
But what's up?
We might end up having a show when they announce that Tom Brady takes over NFL Films.
All right, you see that's how you know Ish is a father with these dad jokes, because that one was corny.
Bruh, I mean, Spygate. He's gonna take over.
I know what you were talking about. It was corny. It was corny.
I got it all. I got it all day for Tom Brady. I'm happy he's finally gone. Thank you. No more Tom Brady.
Look, at the end of the day, we gotta respect what we're seeing.
The league is a brighter place
again, baby.
today.
Might not see it again. Alrighty, then. We will see y'all.
I'll look out for his, NFL film on his greatness and all that, and I'll watch it fondly. I watched a little bit of Mike Vick's today, so I'll
right, enjoy the vault.
I'll be happy watching that I don't have to see it live anymore.
I'll be watching some Bears tennis while I'm at it. But on a serious note, we will see y'all. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, we'll do a preview show. So in about 2 weeks. If y'all need us, hit us on the social. We appreciate everybody for tuning in as always, and we will see y'all very, very soon. Hopefully, if you have a Super Bowl party, let us know. We might be able to stop by and join y'all, and maybe do an X Talking-ish special episode at y'all house. Who knows? But on a serious note, we appreciate y'all for joining us.